good evening and welcome. I'm sorry I am a few minutes late. It is Thursday evening, the 10th of April 2025. My name's Jenny McCormac. I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator and I'm based in the market town of Brackley, which is in Northamptonshire, here in the UK. This week we have been featuring for our stamp set of the week, Thankful Garden. This one here that has two beautiful flower designs. We have the hydrangea here, and then we have not quite sure what it is, but we've gone for the dog rose. We've got some nice sentiments with love and thanks, you make a difference. We've got some individual small leaves and some little centres as well that can be added in, and thankful for you, friend. And I've got an assortment of cards and part-made cards to show you. So these are ones that I've created during our Facebook Lives and our coffee and card this week. So this is the dog rose in yellow, and then we've got the hydrangea, quite a few of these in purple. This is my hybrid, which is partly using the stencil and then partly colouring with blends pens, so you get a slightly different effect to just the stenciling, but I hope you like that effect. Let me just make sure, trying to make sure it's coming up on my live, but I can't see it. It must be, because it says it is. However, there we go, I found it, I beg your pardon. Right, so my hybrid one, so part using the stencils and part using the blends pens. This one's part the way through. This was the one I did live on Monday morning, stamping the hydrangea and using the stencils, and I don't know whether you can see around the edge I've stamped the hydrangea stamp, and then on the inside we've got a little part of the hydrangea here, and then also stamped that in colour on the envelope. And then we've got a blue version of that, balmy blue, and then this is the wild rose. So this is in Melon Mambo, using the stamp and then the stencils. And then this one here is using just the stencils and no stamp. So it gives you a similar effect, but without the detail. So today I thought I would incorporate more of the dies, and there's a fantastic set of dies that go with this set. And of course I can't find them. They're somewhere on my table. I haven't been in for very long, so I've had a quick scout and I couldn't see the ones that I wanted. However, I did already have the die for the flowers already out, so I'm going to make do with that. What I'm going to do is colour that very quickly with a little bit of yellow. I'm going to use this for my backing, and then I'm going to add this and then fussy cut another one of the flowers to put on the top. And the idea was, in the set of dies there are two sets of foliage, and I was going to put the foliage behind. So I'm just having a quick scout while I'm talking. If I can't find them, I might just punch out some other foliage in the meantime and then replace it hopefully when I can find it. This is the problem when you're doing multiple things at the same time. So I've been prepping for our card class on Saturday, and that's these lavender cards here. So the lavender papers are carrying over. So I'm using them this Saturday morning. Hi Caroline, hi Babsy. And so because I'm in the middle of prepping for that, all of my lavender stuff is on top of my other. This is a tear off bookmark card that we're also doing, and using some of the dies from the lavender set. And then the other card for Saturday is this one here, just stamping a sentiment onto the paper. So I do have a few spaces left on Saturday. If you'd like to join us in Buckingham, you'll be most welcome. However, let's get back to where we were. So I'm just going to let's see, I'm going to fussy cut this one out, just this little flower here. I'm just going to do a quick little bit of colouring. I'm not going to do a huge amount, just going to show you that you can just use the pens if you wish. I've got some yellows here, and I'm using this as my basis. So this has just got some yellow detail in the flower, if you can see that on there. This is some of those lovely papers. The one with the stripes on the back. So this is, I'm just going to do this little one here. So I've got Lemon Lolly. You could use the stencils in place of or as well as. So I'm just going to do a little bit in the center here. I'm sorry about all the crunching. I'm just giving the dogs some treats to keep them quiet, but they seem to be making quite a noise with it. Okay. So let's just add a little bit of this in the edges. What are you doing? Dear. Never mind. It's been a nice day today, but not quite as warm as it has been. Definitely cooler in the air, although the sun was quite nice this afternoon. So I'm just doing a little bit of, just a small amount of colouring and shading where the artist has asked you to do so, or giving you the clues. I'm going to do some leaves obviously in green, and might just add a little bit of a darker colour for these middle pieces. So I've already die cut this because, as luck would have it, I had the die out ready for cutting for our March class. So that was a stroke of luck really that I hadn't put that back. This is Dark Daffodil. So I will find the dies, but what I should have done really was put everything away before I started with the lavender. So I do have spaces Saturday if anybody wants to join us. 3 cards, £25, everything's included, including tea and coffee. Right, I'm happy with that. So I hope everybody's had a good week so far. Let's do just a little bit more colour around these edges. Taking inspiration really from here. I know it's a little bit more cream than white, but it will do the desired effect. Okay. Can't believe it's Friday tomorrow, and of course we have Easter next week as well, or the weekend. So now, according to this, my screen has stopped, which is very annoying. I think it's going to come to a grinding halt. I'm just going to wait and see if it does. Yes, it has. Come to a grinding halt. Let me see if I can restart the screen. I suspect not. Bear with me. Okay, I'm just going to stop filming and I'm going to restart. So I'm afraid, because of the way the system works on Facebook, you will have to pick me back up again. So give it a couple of minutes and then refresh and join me, and I'll mark it part 2. I'm so sorry. Technology, eh?